Ingebrigtsen eases to world indoor 3,000-meter gold. Norwegian outkicks Berihu Aregawi in men's race in Nanjing, while Hailu takes women's 3,000-meter title ahead of the returning Shelby Houlihan and Jess Hull. Jakob Ingebrigtsen is halfway to completing a golden double after victory in the men's 3,000-meter at the World Indoor Championships in Nanjing, China, on Saturday. At the end of a slow tactical race, Ingebrigtsen glided past Berihu Aregawi of Ethiopia in the home straight to win in 7 minutes and 46.09 seconds, as Aregawi clocked 7:46.25 and a few meters behind. Kai Robinson of Australia clocked 7 minutes and 47.09 seconds to pip American Sam Gilman for bronze. Aregawi hit the front with 500 m to go and then held off the Norwegian's attempt to hit the front with 200 m to go. Ingebrigtsen was forced to run wide on the final lap, but when he launched his final attack into the home straight, he had too much for the Ethiopian. "I try to be a little bit reserved," said Ingebrigtsen, who went right to the back at the start of the race before coolly moving through during the race. "I would have probably wanted to go out to the front a little earlier. I felt like at that point, it's all about routines and having a smooth feeling. I probably would have liked the pace to be a little bit faster, but I decided to stay there and see what happens. I felt strong in the end, and generally, I have a better finish than my competitors. It was a little bit of a fight, but I was confident that I can make a move in the last 100 m and win, and ultimately that was the main goal." Ingebrigtsen won 2 golds at the European Indoor Championships earlier this month and will now go for gold in the 1,500-meter final in Nanjing on Sunday. He added, "Going into a race like this, I always expect it to be fast because that's the worst-case scenario. I got some slower laps at the beginning of the race, which made me save some energy. But the pace racked up significantly more, but it's good. My competitors study me. But you have to race many times to be able to respond in all scenarios. I've done a lot of racing, but I'm not perfect. It's all about learning. The more you race, the more you learn, so you can make the right decisions at the right point to increase the possibility of winning." Shelby Houlihan, the American returning from a controversial doping ban, took silver in 8 minutes and 38.21 seconds, as Jess Hull was a close third in 8 minutes and 38.28 seconds. Whitney Morgan of the United States, Berihu Aregawi of Ethiopia, and Sarah Healy of Ireland completed the top 6. Hailu, 24, said, "I was sick at home just before coming to Nanjing, so I stayed at the back to conserve myself before making my push. I'm healthy now, and I came here to win. Last year, I won the 1,500 meter, now I've won the 3,000 meter, and I'm so happy about that." Houlihan, 32, was banned in 2021 for 4 years after testing positive for nandrolone. She suggested the positive test could have come from eating contaminated pork from a burrito bar, but continued training through the ban and even raced in a beer mile event during her suspension period. Her spell on the sidelines ended earlier this year, though, with her returning to racing in recent weeks, and now her indoor season has culminated with a global podium place. "It's been a long time coming, and tactically, I'm happy with the way it went, and I really fought to the line," she said. "It's been tough, so to come away with a silver medal here has made me really happy. I'm grateful to be here and back in this environment, and my main goal is just to have fun." Hailu, Ingebrigtsen take World Indoor 3,000 m crowns. On the second and penultimate day of the 20th World Athletics Indoor Championships in Nanjing, Ethiopia's Hailu and Norway's Jakob Ingebrigtsen took the gold medals into the 3,000 m, the longest event contested at these championships. Hailu, 24, who won the world indoor title at 1,500 m last year in Glasgow, dominated the last lap to win comfortably in 8 minutes and 37.21 seconds. Ingebrigtsen, also 24, prevailed in a thrilling last-lap shootout with Ethiopia's Berihu Aregawi, 7 minutes and 46.09 seconds to 7 minutes and 46.25 seconds. Although Ingebrigtsen has 7 European Athletics Indoor Championships titles to his credit, this was his first global indoor title. He hopes to also win the 1,500 meter tomorrow, The women's race went first, and Australia's Jessica Hull and Japan's Nozomi Tanaka controlled the early pace. Hull led through 1000 m in 2 minutes and 53.80 seconds. Then Tanaka took over at the front at 1300 m and would stay there through 2000 m in 5 minutes and 54.49 seconds. The main medal contenders, Hull, Shelby Houlihan and Whitney Morgan of the United States, and Hailu and Burke Halem of Ethiopia, stayed in the pack and looked comfortable. Coming up to 400 meters to go, Hull retook the lead and Tanaka quickly fell back. The pace became visibly quicker, and Hailu moved up to join Hull at the lead. She decided before the race that she should be cautious about her pace. "I was sick at home just before coming to Nanjing," she told the World Athletics Flash Quotes team. "So, I stayed at the back to conserve myself before making my push." And what a push it was. At the bell, she surged away from Hull and scorched the final lap in 28.7 seconds. None of her rivals could match her pace. "I'm healthy now, and I came here to win," Hailu continued. "Last year, I won the 1,500 meter. Now I've won the 3,000 meter, and I'm so happy about that. I try my best, and God help me with the rest. I don't know how I will celebrate. My happiness is beyond me." On the final circuit, Hull had to quickly turn her attention from Hailu to the fast-finishing Houlihan, who resumed competing this year after serving a 4-year doping ban. With 100 meters to go, Hull led Houlihan by 0.2 of a second, and the American was chasing hard. The two women came down the home stretch nearly side by side, and Houlihan passed Hull within the last 2 meters to claim silver, her first global medal, 8 minutes and 38.26 seconds to 8 minutes and 38.28 seconds. "I had never got a medal before, so getting silver tonight is awesome," said Houlihan. She added, "Tactically, I ran very well. It was definitely intense in the last 2 laps. We all started to move really quickly as we would, so I was just trying to be ready and have a little bit left for that final 100 meters kick." Hull, who won the silver medal in the 1,500 meter at last summer's Paris Olympics, was satisfied with third. "I am really proud," said Hull, who competed for the University of Oregon during her NCAA career. She continued, "Once you get a medal, you have to start being a medalist, regardless of whether you are ready for it or not." In the men's race, the field was like a deck of cards getting shuffled and reshuffled. There were countless position changes as the pace seesawed from a tepid 2 minutes and 46.3 seconds for the first kilometer to a faster 2 minutes and 36.7 seconds for the second. Ingebrigtsen began the race, as he usually does in championship events, by going to the back. But by 800 m he moved to the lead, but not pushing the pace. He melted back into the pack 2 laps later and remained there through 2400 m. He wanted to keep his options open. "I probably would have liked the pace to be a little bit faster, but I decided to stay there and see what happens," Ingebrigtsen said. "I feel strong in the end, and generally I have a better finish than my competitors." The Norwegian kept his eye on Aregawi, last summer's Olympic silver medalist, at 10:0:00 m. He moved up behind the Ethiopian on the backstretch, and the pair came to the bell together. Ingebrigtsen tried to pass his shorter rival on the first bend, but was rebuffed. He backed off and gathered himself for one big move before the finish. "It was a little bit of a fight, but I was confident that I can make a move in the last 100 m and win," Ingebrigtsen said. Ultimately, that was the main goal. Coming around the final bend, Ingebrigtsen was still behind Aregawi, who had already begun his kick. Ingebrigtsen hit the gas and powered past Aregawi in the home stretch to get the gold. He ran the final lap in 26.7 seconds and immediately turned his attention to Sunday, where he will try to also win the 1,500 meter, a feat only accomplished by the legendary Haile Gebrselassie in 1999. "I don't enjoy the 1,500 m warm-up, but the racing is a lot of fun," Ingebrigtsen said. "And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, have a lot of fun." Two newcomers to the international stage who were prominent in the NCAA system, Australia's Kai Robinson and America's Sam Gilman, battled for the bronze. Gilman, who competed collegiately for the U.S. Air Force Academy, led Robinson at the top of the home stretch, but Robinson had the faster sprint. The former Stanford Cardinal edged Gilman by just 1/10 of a second, 7 minutes and 47.09 seconds to 7 minutes and 47.19 seconds. Robinson won the first ever World Indoor 3,000-meter medal for Australia. "It's my first year competing as a professional runner," said Robinson, who lives in Boulder, Colorado, and trains with the On Athletics Club under coach Dathan Ritzenhein. "It's a big jump from the collegiate scene in America to the world stage. I just wanted to bridge that gap, and I showed that I did that today." The US ace Dylan Jacobs, who trains with Robinson in Colorado, finished 5th in 7 minutes and 48.41 seconds. Americans Hoey and Miller make men's 800-meter final. In the morning session, Americans Josh Hoey and Brandon Miller dominated the men's 800-meter semifinals. Both men went to the front in their respective heats, stayed there throughout the race, and won in 1 minute and 45.23 seconds and 1 minute and 46.84 seconds, respectively. Hoey recorded the fastest time of the round and was the only man to run sub 1:46. "It was my plan to run in the front from the start," said Miller, a member of the Brooks Beast Track Club in Seattle. "I didn't want to risk anything and wanted to make sure I make it straight into the final." But there was drama behind Hoey in the first of the 3 heats. Just past the 400 mark, Frenchman Yannis Mezi entangled feet with Kenya's Noah Kibet and fell to the track. He eventually resumed running and finished in 2 minutes and 23.96 seconds. Officials did not see grounds to advance him to the final. The top 2 finishers from the recent European Athletics Indoor Championships, Dutchman Samuel Chappell and Belgian Elliot Creston, also advanced to the final. Creston won Heat 2 from the front, while Chappell finished behind Miller in Heat 3. Uganda's Tom Dradriga and Spain's Elvin Josue Canales also made the 6-man final. Aikens Falls, Wero leads women's 800-meter qualifiers.
Both distances, but I would say that so far a pretty good indoor season, getting out and succeeding with the things that I wanted to accomplish. So it's been good.
Have you done anything this year different to work on your speed, to try to improve your speed?
No, it's doing the same things, but the way that we work is obviously, if I've been improving for many years, and it's all about doing the same things, because every year you add to on top of the same things, you're gonna improve, because everything is about consistency, building, and it's about running strength. The guy that's has the most amount of energy left is the guy that's going to run the fastest at the end. It's not about the things that you think you mean. Does that make sense? It's not about speed, it's about how much energy you have left.
Well, I guess
we don't run that fast, but it's about how much energy you have left.
Right.
So the guy with the most amount of energy left, that's the guy that's going to win. So it's all about making good decisions and also good preparations and leading up to that point. At the end of the day, it's about sprint.
Following the footsteps of Gebrselassie, what does that mean to you? Do you look back in history?
Following in the footsteps.
Can you say that?
Probably not.
No.
It's 50 years ago, so I think it would be difficult to follow the footsteps. I think they're probably not that visible anymore. No, but it's I think it's very difficult to compare, history, and also being that long time ago. A lot of things have changed, and I'm not doing this because anybody else has done it before. So that's purely a coincidence. It's a relatively good schedule. I've had very good preparations, and after coming up from a championship 2 weeks ago, so it's been it's a good opportunity for me to kind of maximize the outcome. But it's been good. But obviously, one has nothing to do with the other, but it's coincident that it's similar.
will you run any Grand Slam track meets this season? And if not, why not? Will you run any Grand Slam track meets this season? And if not, why not?
I think for in this sport, there's a lot of different things, and you can choose what you want. I'm not competing, throughout the whole year. In my training, I have to prioritize, the total from when I put out the program. I start in October, kind of work my way through all the way around to September, try to make everything work. But at the same time, I really have to focus on training to get. So I've had a good indoor season, but I've also had a good lead up in my training, in the period leading up to this indoor season. And I'll also have to do the same thing for the outdoor season. So it's all about prioritizing the correct things so that I can be at the fitness that I want when I really want it. And of course, main goal this year is Tokyo, and also some good races in June and July and August, September leading up to the World Championship. But now I'm going to go home and get back to training and start to build before I'm opening in a couple of months.
I'd like to be a big
One more, great. One more.